Evo nas ponovo i kao što sam najavila, vreme je za poslednje predavanje koje je posveđeno ekologiji i zanimanjima koje se tiču zaštite planete. Sa nama je Camille sa Burgundy School of Business, evo upravo će se priključiti. Zatim Iglika i Rebeka sa Univerziteta u Utrechtu. Samo da proverimo da li se čujemo i vidimo. Hello girls, how are you?
Hello, hi everyone. Yeah.
Hi, welcome on board. I think we should wait for Rebecca as well. Just a second, please. Here you are. Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Hello, and welcome on board. Thank you for your time and for your willing to join our virtual fair. I hope you could check our platform and see how it works because we really did our best to have this wonderful virtual experience. Okay, girls, let's start with your short presentation. Actually, I would like you to introduce yourselves and tell us something about your academic background and your motives to join us today.
We do that now? Okay.
Yeah, maybe you, Camille, can start. Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy to be here in front of you and to join on such an important subject, actually. So my name is Camille. I am working at Burgundy School of Business in France. So we're a French business and management school. But I'm also here as an alumni of BSB because I followed my undergraduate and postgraduate studies there. So I spent an overall of 5 years in the school as a student, and we have just launched a new program really dedicated to this subject called the MSc Green Tech and Sustainable Societies. So this is what I'm here to talk about, but also if needed, my experience as a student, of course, any topic, I'm free to talk about it and don't hesitate.
That's great news. That's great news because we are aware that we do need more professionals in this field of green professions. And other girls, Rebecca and Iglika, can you please introduce yourselves?
Hi, everyone. I'm Iglika. I graduated from the Utrecht University in 2016 with a master's degree in environmental science, sustainable development. I did 2 specialization tracks during my time at the Utrecht University. First one was environmental governance and the second sustainable business and innovation. My professional path started with a corporate sustainability internship in Amsterdam and continued with environmental management. Currently, I work for Envalion. That's a Swiss-based company that also operates from a few other offices in Europe, like Amsterdam and Varna, Bulgaria. Our core business involves trading with several environmental commodities like renewable energy certificates, energy efficiency certificates, and carbon credits, as well as guiding our clients from the private and public sector in their climate neutral journey. I support my company's business activities through analysis of the constantly changing climate and energy policies and through modeling the dynamics on the various markets we operate on. My efforts are focused on keeping our team up to speed on new opportunities in emerging markets, as well as following and researching the trends on always changing field of corporate climate sustainability.
Okay, thank you. We will go back to your story and to your professional path. And Rebecca, please, can you tell us something about yourself?
Sure. Well, thank you so much for the invitation. I also did a master's at Utrecht University. I graduated in 2017. I studied law. I did a research master's there. And during my studies, I focused on environmental law. So after I graduated, I worked for a couple of years at the Dutch government. And while doing so, I focused mainly on climate-related policies and policy on circular economy. And I recently switched. I currently work for one of the largest pension funds of the Netherlands, and I advise our boards on responsible investments. So this is, in a nutshell, my career path until now.
Okay. Thank you. Sounds great. Okay, let's start with one question about this kind of professions, and I would like to ask you about the set of skills that one should have if he or she wants to build a career within this green sector. What would you say? What kind of mindset should that person have, or what kind of skills, knowledge, talents, or whatever? What can you say about that? Maybe maybe Camille should start, because she's
okay.
She's
we will try to answer in the same order we introduce ourselves. Then no problem. So first of all, I want to say I think there are soft skills and hard skills which are needed in this particular sector. I think in terms of personality, if you want to work in this sector, you need to be curious, agile, creative, determined. Of course, most of all, I think you want to make a positive impact on the planet and globally. Then the skills that are needed might be sometimes hard skills, like I say. Of course, it really depends, because green companies can be green tech, as we said, it can be fintech, it can be producing a product, it can be a service, or it can be an NGO, for example. It can be a global organization such as the UN, because we have, for example, specific sustainable goals and policies that are led by such institutions. So it can be really wide, but I think, the other panelists will complete my answer, that it can be quite wide.
Yeah, I agree. And Rebecca, or actually, let's go to Ilika's story, because she has an education in this study field. Can you tell us something about your bachelor and master studies? What skills did you develop, and what kind of subjects and courses did you have?
I did my bachelor's in Bulgaria in environmental studies. For my master's degree, I did, they were mainly research-related subjects, like research design, advanced research methods, international governance for sustainable development, policy analysis, and
how important is the research in this study field?
Well, very important.
And did you do? And is that individual research, or is that kind of group projects that you have?
Both.
It's
many group assignments as well as individual, and we also had a transdisciplinary course where we worked on a project with students from other specialization tracks, like energy science and materials and international development.
And do you remember any specific course or any specific assignment that really opened your mind and opened your eyes? Was that maybe some life-changing thing that you really realize that this is your career path, this is your way, you will work in this sector?
not to say life-changing, because I think that everyone that starts in the field has the green mindset to do it. But I've always liked topics that are related to biodiversity. So one of my favorite assignments was about an organization that's overseeing the illegal trade of wildlife species traffic, if you might have heard of it. So
okay, but you do have some specific course and specific topic that you are interested in. So that's something that we would like to point out, that important moments of our careers and some things that guided us to take some decision and to build a career path. And what about you, Rebecca, and about your studies? How can you describe us your bachelor and master in short terms? What was that about?
Sure. Yeah. So I started off with, I would say, regular law studies, national law and European law. And during my studies already, I noticed that I was very much interested in climate change and the way policymaking and law interacts. So I decided to do a research master's at Utrecht University, where I got the chance to really focus on specific topics that I was interested in. And one of my research projects was actually on water law. And I was offered the opportunity to go to South Africa with a couple of other students from Utrecht University. And we did some research, field research, and it was really great to interact with the locals and do interviews with them and to really experience what it's like, what water management looks like in other countries. So that was, I think, one of the main eye-openers for me, what it actually means, drought in other countries. I did a lot of desk research before, but it's really helpful to actually do the research on the ground. So that was, I think, one of my favorite, I would say, projects during my studies. And in terms of skill sets, climate change and loss of biodiversity and the crisis, it really affects everyone, all companies, all organizations. So whether or not you choose to focus in your studies on sustainability related matters or not, it will definitely affect the company or the organization where you will work in the future anyway. So it's a topic that really affects everyone. And in a way, I think if you choose a study that is really in the sustainability field, there are different ways to do so. So you can either become a specialist, and there's so many different areas that are related to it. You can, for example, packaging, transport. There's so many ways of focusing on a specific topic, but also if policy making, for example, my background is something that interests you, it really is broad. And my job is to really connect all the dots, and sustainability is so broad. So I have to have knowledge on human rights, on climate change, on biodiversity, and my job is to really bring everything together. So I think to sum it up, if you feel like you want to become a specialist, you can focus on one specific topic, or if you want to, if you're interested in different topics, you can also do it that way.
Yeah, based on your personal experiences, I see that your job and your professions are pretty complex. So it's like connecting both research, policy making, global and local issues. That is something that we should really mention, like some specific feature of green professions. I would like to go back to Camille's story, actually, and the Burgundy School of Business, because here we have the example where private business school has one specific study program related to this kind of social issue, global issue. Camille, what would you say about this specific program? What kind of skills and knowledge does it offer?
Yeah, it's the program title is Green Tech and Sustainable Societies. So of course it's focused on green tech companies, but it has three pillars. So the first one would be green tech, obviously. Second one would be sustainability. And third one would be innovation, because our belief and the head of the program has extensive knowledge about this. So she could talk about it for hours, but she says these three pillars cannot really be dissociated when talking where it comes to business. So, of course, the program talks about clean energies, natural resources management, responsible finance, green product design, smart cities, and ethics of technology. And as I said, I think hard skills and soft skills need to be developed for students who want to work in this industry, and that's really what the other panelists said in a nutshell. So it really depends on what the person wants, because I think there are many opportunities after such programs, whatever school you work in. Often students ask, what type of companies can I work in? And actually, I have a predefined answer for that, because it can be multinationals, it can be SMEs, so small to medium-sized enterprises, or we have more and more students creating their own company in this field. There are really many types. We can name maybe Tesla can be thought as a green tech company because they are focused on, but again, it's a multinational, so the line is hard to draw on this. But for example, even in France, we have quite a lot of new companies that have emerged. We have, for example, an app to avoid food wasting that has been working really well. It's called Too Good to Go, because the food is too good to go. That's a good one. There are also search engines that allow to have less impact on the planet or plant a tree. Some of them are more known than others. And I think it's really booming, this sector. It really depends on what the person wants again. So about the skills, knowing, of course, country-specific or global sustainable goals and policies have to be done. Of course, it can be country-specific or more global, as I said. Understanding the role of culture in sustainable development is really key. CSR management, of course, what inside a company, environmental performance and governance, managing creativity and innovation, product economics, because if you want to produce something, you need to know the whole life cycle stage, also the circularity, recycling, distribution, supply chain. So it really impacts the whole cycle. Renewable energies, of course, how to manage finance and investment, because of course it has a lot to do with what type of business you want to develop. So that's what I could say.
And is it a one-year master?
Yes, so it's a one-year master, MSc, so Master of Science. It's a specialized program fully taught in English.
And does it offer an internship within that year?
Of course, so the internship is optional, so it's up to everyone, of course, depending on your goals, but the internship is at the end of the program.
Okay, thank you for this. But at one moment you mentioned the emergency of this kind of study programs and of new models for resolving some global issues. So we can ask Rebecca and Iglika about their opinion actually and about their experience. Why is now important to have a specialist in these fields? What would you say about this particular moment?
Okay, can I go first?
Yeah, please.
All right. So, well, we see enormous demands on the environment that's caused by population growth and consumption of natural resources. I would say overconsumption. And the way we live, we humans cause a severe damage on our planet, and we are close to some very dangerous and irreversible levels of environmental degradation. And I think we have reached that point where there's no longer about cautiousness of protecting the environment, but it's our own survival as a species depends on it, on protecting our nature.
And do you participate in any specific initiative that you can describe? Any particular project that is dealing with this issue or any kind of issue, both globally and locally?
Well, our company participates in many associations. Like
in which way?
It's more related to renewable energy and emissions trading. For example, we are a member of the REX International. That's the association that deals with renewable electricity certificates around the world. Also emission trading associations. We've recently joined the European Biogas Association. So we mainly do renewable energy and climate.
And those are huge projects actually made by companies. So we should actually mention once again that importance of both private and public sector in this issue, and that is why I really like the idea to join you here from both sides. And Rebecca, what would you say about projects you are involved in? Can you describe us any recent initiative that you participated in?
Sure. Well, in general words, I can describe what my job entails. So basically, as a pension fund, we have different investments to guarantee that the people who, build up their pension, that they will have a nice pension in the end. And we have several types of investments, but for each of them, we carefully look at whether they fulfill our criteria in terms of governance, social aspects, and environmental aspects. And if we feel that a company does not live up to the standards that we have, we start an engagement program, which means that we really talk to the company and ask what the reason is why they don't live up to certain legal measures, for example. And if we feel that a company really is not willing to change, then it is also an option to stop the investment and to leave as an investor. So in that way, we can actually really change something from the financial, as an investor in the financial world, and especially if we work together. So that really is a lot of interest, and also in the public eye, there are a lot of NGOs that are interested in our work, and we really try to work together with several types of institutions and organizations. We work together with research institutions to see what kind of methodologies we should adapt to measure the impacts of our investments.
Yeah. Thank you. And as we are going towards the end of our presentation, I would like you to describe us your day, your typical work day, your typical duties at your job positions, just to explain our students and future students what they can expect if they decide to study something related to sustainability. So Rebecca, please, can you continue? How is your typical day?
Well, there is no typical day. I think every day is quite different, but some recurring activities are reviewing certain business activities. For example, we also have reporting duties. We have to check for example, there are several initiatives also by the UN. We follow the guiding principles by the UN, and we have to report on that, what we do. So I do quite a lot of research, and also I work together with my colleagues on these type of projects. So there's also a lot of team meetings and so it's very dynamic and very diverse, I would say.
Okay, sounds nice. And what about you, Iglika?
Well, first and foremost, it starts with a big mug of coffee, but I can also relate to what Rebecca said. But usually it starts with reading the news, like for an hour, and I lead a small team of analysts and researchers, so coordinating the task and also coordinating between the other departments like marketing, back office, and also front office. I think that within my field, coordination between teams is very crucial. That's
okay, thank you. And Camille, what about your general experience at Burgundy School of Business? I would like to mention that you are based in Dijon, in France. So it's really a place to be, according to what we could see about your campus and about all the learning experience and studying experience at your university. What does motivate you to keep up that good job at this moment? And what is your, let's say, motivation for build this study program, this specific study program that we are talking about?
That's a very good question. But at the same time, it's the first time that I really find a meaning in what I'm doing every day, because I think it's too bad. And I've seen thousands, if not tens of thousands of students and their project and their profile. And I think it's such a bad thing that a lot of students do not get the right education for them. And I think it's a big deal finding the best fit, so program, but also school, more globally, the good education that you need. And that's the examples of the two other panelists we have today. I think they found the perfect fit for them, because that's really the feeling we have when we hear what they say. But it's really important. So this is what I can say that is really our goal is, I always say the goal is not to recruit a student, it's to graduate him or her. So
that's good point. Yeah,
it makes the difference. Yes, this is what I could say in a nutshell.
Okay, thank you so much for your time and for joining us today. We really hope that we did a good job with this presentation and at least presenting a bit about of your professions, of your education, and everything that some potential student can expect. Have a nice day, have a nice weekend. I wish you all the best and I hope to see you in some other occasion. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.